Cameron Dickey ran for 263 yards on 21 carries. That's about 12.5 yards per carry, 2 touchdowns against Kansas last week. Of course, 260 yards is very impressive. You can't do that without a great offensive line performance, and that's what we saw against Kansas. This Red Raider offensive line was just kicking Jayhawk ass up and down the field all night. It's very exciting, not only what Texas Tech has on the offensive line right now, but the type of recruits they're bringing in this 2026 cycle. Felix Ojo to name one. It's very exciting what they're building in Lubbock, especially in the trenches, on both sides of the ball. But I digress. We're going to keep this about Cameron Dickey, the 5'10", 215-pound sophomore running back. So what I'm seeing with Cameron Dickey, feel free to correct me if you disagree or if you think I'm wrong. It's not necessarily the explosiveness. It's not really the first 10. It's not really the first 7 yards. But once he gets to 7.5 yards with a lot of space, he's about as fast as you'll find. When he's in the combine in 2-3 years, whenever he comes out to go into the NFL, we're not going to talk about him having the best 10-yard split in the draft, but he'll have one of the best 40-yard dashes, right? The next 30 yards after that first 10 yards. And that's very exciting because the upside with that reminds me of Braylon Allen. You didn't love the explosiveness with him coming out of Wisconsin, Braylon Allen, but once he had a full head of steam, at the frame that he had, he was very difficult to tackle. Right now, you see how he just kind of has a second gear and then how fast he is. Braylon Allen. I already said that. But it's kind of the similar path. They're very different players, but in that regard, Cameron Dickey's got 215 pounds packed into a 5'10 frame. We're going to really like the contact balance as he keeps becoming a more physical runner, but he's a great athlete at the amount of weight that he's carrying. We're going to see that also. The lateral agility that he has is, honestly, that's not what I was expecting, turning on the film. I watched the third quarter, maybe the fourth quarter as well of this game live, and I was expecting to turn on this tape and it's going to be a lot, foot in the ground, upfield, running through arm tackles, but this dude is a great athlete, not only in a straight line, but, laterally as well. I want to see more of this. This Texas Tech offensive line did a great job, opening the holes, and Cameron Dickey did a great job hitting them. I want to see more of this, of him just pushing the pile here, because he certainly has the frame, certainly has the strength to do it. Look at right now where the first contact's made. He's not even touched till 4 yards, and he does a great job just, farmers carrying. This is all weight room right here. Adding another 5.5, 6 yards to the carry. I don't think we saw that consistently enough throughout the game, and I think that's what we're going to see Cameron Dickey do throughout his career at Texas Tech, because he certainly has the frame, certainly has the strength to do it. We've seen it in flashes on the highlight tape as well, and this is the lateral agility I'm talking about. This dude's a serious threat to hit a home run. If you give him enough space, like we already talked about the acceleration he has at 10 yards, and then the lateral agility to just kind of bend this kind of run back all the way. I got to tell you also, what's really impressive, and we don't talk about this a lot, he just did not lose steam throughout this game. They kept going to him, 21 rushes. I think he played his best football when everybody else was tired, because you could tell this dude's well-conditioned. Didn't fall off a cliff at all after 10 carries like you'll see a lot of guys do. He was fresh, despite, them not trying to keep him fresh, because they were definitely leaning on him, especially when quarterback Morton got hurt. But that's really what it is to me with Cameron Dickey. It's the frame, the acceleration. Just moves very well for 215 pounds. And then this is the lateral agility also. It's just not stiff with the change of direction at all like you'll see. Braylon Allen, I'm not trying to make the comparison because they're very different players, especially in this respect. That dude coming out of Wisco just could not really change direction. You never see a clip like this on that highlight tape. But like I said, that acceleration at 7 yards just kind of reminds me of him. Plus a big frame as well. But you guys let me know what you think about Cameron Dickey. That's what he did. 263 yards. Very impressive. Really, really like what I saw. If you want a place to keep all your thoughts on football players, please check out we-draft.com. He's up on there. Feel free to either comment on here or, write your opinion on there. Thanks for watching.